if you will, where in the past, in the early 90s, I don't remember traveling so much with other people, or there'd be a masseuse or a yoga person, but now he started to travel with always a masseuse, whereas in the past it wasn't always a masseuse or always an instructor. There was now starting to be always an individual or a friend or whatever. There's always maybe the word would be entourage. But these were always people in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s, as my memory sees it, as I observed that time. And he tasked me with finding a local masseuse for him in St. Thomas, because sometimes, even though I say he would always travel with an entourage, sometimes he didn't, and he wanted to have a massage locally. So I visited the spas that were local in St. Thomas and in St. John. And if I met someone, a man or a woman actually, because it was difficult to find somebody in St. Thomas, it's not exactly, So, and I did find a couple of people who would come. So that's how they came. Because also it was a schlep. So if you had somebody who came, it would be, you'd have to, boat ride and several hours. It wasn't just it's not like arriving with your massage table and stuff. So there was that. So I did do that.
So did, over the years, males also give massages to Mr. Epstein?
Yes. I did say, I don't think, at the beginning, definitely. And I would say towards sort of, again, late 90s, I don't remember any men. They were at the beginning, I think, in that, towards the late 90s, I kind of don't think of any men, I only think of women.
Did you, well, you talk about entourage flying, right now we're talking about the island. Did you observe any sexual, I was going to say misconduct, but any sex at all whatsoever on the plane?
Never on the plane, no.
Was there a part of the plane that was closed off from others where Mr. Epstein could go and get a massage?
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good question. So there were two planes. So you had there was a Gulfstream, that's an open plan. So anything, there was a sofa that turned into a bed. I needed sleep on that. And then, but in the Boeing, which he flew on a lot, there was his area could be closed off with a door. And behind that door, there was a bedroom and an office. So if that door was shut, you wouldn't see it.
But but you never observed Mr. Epstein engaging in sex or getting a massage with somebody where the masseuse was not clothed on the plane?
I can't say that. I might have. Okay. I definitely might have, either both in the Gulfstream or in the I'm sure I did, but it's not. I can't.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm absolutely sure I did. I must have, because he was so obsessed with someone rubbing his feet, or just when you ask me about massages, I want to be clear. I generally what I think of that is somebody on a massage table, but other people might think of it as something different. You could have someone rubbing his feet or his shoulder. I saw that all the time. That I did, but that's separate from being on a massage table.
How? Again, I know we're talking about a decade-long period, but during the period we're talking about, in a 7-day week, how often would Mr. Epstein get a massage?
In the 90s, when we're talking, he would get one every day. I think as that time progressed, he would get one maybe twice a day. I do want to say that there was maybe a reason that things altered or morphed or progressed, and it is maybe part of the reason also that he and I our relationship, or however somebody wants to call it, altered, and he started doing testosterone, and that altered his character.
So
And
he
I
a
believe that
pedo because he did
started in
testosterone. Pete.
the late 90s. And I believe that the FBI has his medical records, and you may see that on his medical
The
records.
FBI got
So you believe that he started taking testosterone in the 90s, and when you say that altered his behavior, you're saying it made him get more massages, or that was just one part of what changed about him?
Exactly.
Well, he became more aggressive.
Nice.
And I think that he may be, well, now I'm just imagining that the testosterone altered his desires or something.
So yes, the testosterone made him a pedo.
So
Y'all heard it first here, people.
Given what you've said the past couple hours about his kind of progression or change, let's focus on that time period. So more towards the late 90s,
yeah, okay.
So 96, 97, 8, when you've said that he changed. Did you know flat out that he was having sex or otherwise some sort of sexual conduct with masseuses regularly?
Flat out, no. I denied that. I couldn't imagine that he would. But I think, looking back now, that I did not. But I started to suspect that he was not faithful.
Here she go lying again. All she been doing for the last all these recordings is lying and telling the truth, but be lying.
If he's flying from Palm Beach to St. Thomas, or if he's flying all over the country to New Mexico or to New York, or even in Palm Beach, and there's young women, putting aside whether they're under the age of 18 or in their 20s, every day at the house, multiple masseuses, multiple massages on some days. You're interacting with the masseuses constantly, or maybe that's not right. Let me take back what I just said. Ignore that part. But you understand that he's getting massages every day, sometimes multiple times a day. By the late 90s, it's all women. Presumably, they're
he was just stressed.
Some of them are new, but they're also repeat masseuses. What did you? I mean, you had to know at that point that there was something going on beyond just he really needed to get massaged.
Very fair question. There's two things. The first is the person that he saw the most at that period of time was in her 40s, and she was with him all the time. And I'm like, married as well.
Yeah.
And I'm square. And it never occurred, well, I don't believe it occurred to me at the time that with this woman he would be having relations. And
she said she's a square, people. She's a square. She had no idea. You know what?
With her, that was the person he had the most massages, yoga, and that was at that time, in the 90s period. The second thing is that he told me he had difficulty having an erection, and I believed him.
When you said he said that, do you mean he regularly told you that? Like he?
When I didn't have sex with him after the first time, and it took, so I asked him, was it me? And he told me it was him. And I'd never, up until this moment in my life, I'm not stupid, I'm very bright. I've had an excellent education. I've traveled all over the world. I had had boyfriends. But I had never met or understood that somebody could be so, would lie to me about. It never occurred to me. I didn't have a frame of context within my life experience where somebody would be so manipulative and devious with me.
I don't believe this.
I just didn't have. And I was happy not to have sex because I have a condition that doesn't lend itself to that.
What? now she got a condition. You know what?
When you learn.
Hold on. She said Jeffrey got a condition, a heart condition, so he can't get erect. So that's why they couldn't have proper, stuff and stuff. Now she's saying she got a condition and she can't. Bro.
So fast forward just for a moment to the 2007-8-9 time period, and he's arrested and charged, and there's all kinds of press around his purported contact. At that point, did you accept that was true? Meaning, did it make sense at that point when you were reading about women who claimed that they had been abused, even underage? And at that point, did you think to yourself, well, geez, that makes sense now that I think about it, or no?
First of all, I only read what was in the newspapers. I didn't have any other thing, and I'm embarrassed to say I didn't believe it.
Okay. Right. I mean, you didn't believe that the accusations were true at the time. Yeah. So let's.
And sorry, I need to say, even if they were true, I believe that he was duped and he didn't know that they were whatever was in the papers at that time, whether they said that they were 17.
He was duped.
It didn't register because along with all of those, well, not in 2006, but later when the more salacious and other allegations came out, I knew were utterly false, which then just reinforced my belief that the rest was not true.
Let me ask you a question about the age of the masseuses over the years. I think in my mind, there's a difference between you knowing or not knowing that a masseuse is under the age of 18 and coming to give a massage, and you knowing that Mr. Epstein, sexually abused the underage person or made her strip or something like that. Meaning, and I want to understand whether you believe that nobody that came to give massages, none of the women were under 18, or that you didn't focus on their age, but you were more focused on whether any underage woman was abused by him.
Pause. She said before that she made sure that everybody was over 25, but you didn't check ages. So what is it, ma'am? Which one?
I think it's better to answer this question with corroborating evidence and then go back and explain so that I frame your understanding of what I'm saying. My understanding is that in 2008, they had interviewed 44 women, let's say, or around that number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have to understand, not a single one of those 44 women mentioned me in a single report. And it's not because... Go back. They didn't mention me in the report because they never met me. They never saw me, and they never interacted with me. So, to go back to your question, it's not that I thought one way or another. It's that I didn't see them.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Does that?
Yeah. No, that's helpful. So.
And when I say not one single one of those reports talks about me. And I just want to clarify exactly, because I'm obviously aware that one of those girls was one of the witnesses in my trial, specifically. To use her own testimony so that you don't have to hear my point of view. It's better if it comes from her own.
Red alert. If anybody wants to hear about some more tea about some names, hello. It's coming.
So that way there's no...
hold on to your britches.
Second guessing what I'm saying. Herself said that recruited her, brought her, and trained her. Those
Don't mind read that.
Own words.
Also, some things are going to be redacted, will be bleeped, right? But red alert, there's other things that aren't.
Well, that you didn't know. I mean, I assume.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, I'm trying to remember words.
It's okay. It's okay.
I really do have some slow cognition issues.
Oh, she's slow now.
So she testifies that it was that recruited her and trained her and not you.
So then in her first FBI meeting, she reports seeing a woman with short dark hair at the house, which then is used as evidence that that person was myself.
Like
but the maid lady who helped keep the house, John Alessi's wife, with an accent, I believe she said.
What?
John Alessi's wife had short dark hair and an accent.
Girl, it was you and you.
I'm sorry, but I find, and you can ask yourselves this. I mean, I've obviously modified my accent. I've been in America a long time, but I'm British. I've been brought up with a very strong British accent. And I don't believe there's an American on planet Earth that doesn't recognize this to be British or Australian, maybe.
Actually, since we started this, the first time she started speaking, I was like, is she from California? And then it was like all of a sudden she got a little accent finally. Like, it was very weird. So,
We really don't know. But it's not some random accent. Now, the Hispanic, maybe. Okay. That was John's wife that she saw. Not John's. And I'd like to point out further how you potentially through her own words. She identified.
Why don't we stop there and let them?
Sorry.
So just, and look, I want to try to, I think probably tomorrow I want to talk more about kind of the evidence against you and how to address that. So
sorry.
No, don't apologize. That's helpful, but I don't want you to be burdened. I want you to just tell the truth the best you can. So I don't want you to be burdened by what people said at trial or what you know the press says about you.
I just thought it was illustrative when you asked the question, because it doesn't. I absolutely have no memory at any. Now I'm leaving.
She has
separate to this, obviously, so that's a separate story. I'm not going to pretend.
We'll get to.
Yes,
go ahead.
But in the terms of the scheme or whatever, however you want to determine what you're calling that, I have no memory, no active anything of having seen anybody that resembles a child, let's call it what it is, at that house giving him a massage. At all. It's not even like I did this. It's an actual.
Why does she keep
44 people didn't see me or talk about me either, including.
Did and when you say that house.
Oh, sorry, Palm Beach.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean, but it does the same memory or lack thereof apply to on planes in New Mexico, in New York,
with some other important caveats. On that, Bajorlin Jane in my trial was clearly underage, clearly a child, and I only saw her in Palm Beach.
Did she not just say under 1 minute ago that she had no knowledge of children at all involved in anything? You see how this... Oh!
And I only saw her with her mother. The other person who's clearly also not an adult or even close, I believe, I don't remember her now, but that would be the only two, or three, whatever that is.
So, did you ever know Mr. Epstein to communicate with FBI agents, either like intelligence FBI agents, like as a source, or just generally with FBI agents?
No.
Do you think if he had done that, you would have known, like he would have told you something like that? Like if I said to you, Mr. Epstein was a source for the FBI, would you say that's crazy? No, he wasn't, or maybe he was. He would have told me that anyway.
I have two answers for that. I think if he was for real, I think he would have bragged about it to me as a show off, because he could be a show off. And if he wasn't, he might have dropped it like he was cool.
Yeah.
And I don't remember him doing either. Now, with again the caveat.
Yeah, pause. If you didn't hear it before, remember, she said her dad was intelligence for Britain and then mentioned Iran. Now we doing all this, and she didn't have, bro, this is, yo. Okay, let's go.
In his, before I met him, finding money, I think he may have suggested that there were some people who helped him, but that's the only context that I recall that in.
What do you mean by that? When you said finding money, what do you mean?
Well, his business where he, remember I told you, I think in that context, he showed me a photograph that he had with some African warlords or something that he told me. And, you know, I don't remember if that's what I interpreted, like that kind of thing, or whether it was something like that. That's the only actual active memory I have of something nefarious. Not nefarious, I don't even know if it was nefarious, but covert, I suppose, would be the word.
And what about any other intelligence agency, like the CIA or Defense Intelligence or any other law enforcement agency?
Okay. I don't think so. I think that I don't remember anything like that. I just don't think he had the wherewithal, and I think that whole aspect of that is, can I use a bad word?
Yes.
Bullshit.
Yes.
And what do you think is bullshit? Meaning, what do you mean?
Yeah, what you mean?
Would you have known if he was? Would he have been bragging
stop
to you? Would
asking
he have been
questions
saying
without
these
letting her
things?
talk. They get on my
I think it was
nerves.
because I think. No, sorry. I think that I think one of the reasons why he liked me was because of my family connections, and why he liked other people was because they were cool or whatever. And I think that certainly early in when I met him, he would have tried to impress me, or tried to show off, if you will, like he was that guy.
But he didn't.
And he wasn't that guy.
No, he wasn't that guy.
And I think that he would have tried to bullshit me, and he didn't. So I think it's... he may have tried to bullshit me, but no. Right. Sorry.
She is heartbroken over Jeffrey to this day. When was this? July or August? July or August. One of them two. She is still heartbroken about Jeffrey not choosing her stupid head. Just ignoring all the other things. She's still mad Jeffrey didn't choose her, dumb it. Okay, let's go.
So I want to just shift for a few minutes to talk about post 2000 to kind of when your relationship changed over the years with him. Did there come a time when Mr. Epstein, did meet members of the royal family?
Yes.
When was that?
So I need to go back because I think I may have misspoke. Okay. Well, I didn't misspeak, but I read something that I had forgotten.
Yeah.
Before I met Epstein, he lived in London for a period of time. I don't know for how long. And he met and knew some truly fancy people, like people, high society people. That included Princess Diana's best friend. Her name was Rosa Monckton. And Rosa's husband, Dominic Lawson, who's a famous journalist, actually he's a very well-known journalist. And when I And he was friends with the Barings Bank, and he had like sort of
That was
before he met me.
Before, so in the
God.
80s.
80s.
Yes, he was dating Eva Anderson,
Oh my God.
Miss Sweden, I think. I don't know when she became Miss Sweden.
Okay, so earlier when you said that he met them later, you
Yes.
think he may have met some members of the royal family or certainly British high society?
He met, I don't know about the royal family, but certainly high society.
Okay.
And the reason why I know this is because sometime this is a documentable thing, whatever. There's a photograph that can give you the date, because I don't remember what the date is of this. So there's something that will peg whatever this date is. I don't remember when that is. Epstein went to London without me. He often went everywhere without me, but he was in London without me, which was decently unusual because London's my hometown. But anyway, he went without me, and he went to a big event in, I think it was in the park. Anyway, it was a big event. It's on the news. It's like there's photographs of it, and I don't know if he sat with Diana or he met Diana or he met her. I don't know, but this I believe was organised by Rosa, and so I don't know if she was being set up as a date for him, maybe, because I don't want to speak bad of Diana, but I'm not going to do
Okay,
that.
so that was pre-meeting you.
No, that was when that event happened, when we were.
Oh, okay, that was.
It's when we were.
Y'all, I gotta pause. Yo, we had Princess Diana. Dog. This is the will. Oh shit. Okay. Let's go.
Say together. Oh, and how about this? When I was his employee.
Okay.
Better.
So now moving back to the 2000s, there come a time when Mr. Epstein met Prince Andrew?
Yes.
And others in the royal family, or just Prince Andrew, as far as you know?
Well, so, as much as I can piece it together, first of all, let's just state I did not introduce him to Prince Andrew. I did not introduce him to Prince Andrew or to Sarah Ferguson. That is a flat untruth. Start with that. So now I'll tell you how he did actually meet him. So if you find me that photograph, I can date that time when he met Princess Diana at that event. And based on that, I'll be able to tell you if it's pre or post that event, because I haven't looked it up and I've never bothered to check. So Lynn Forrester, who was a client or some type of client, or I think she actually tried to date him, or might have dated him for the record. She was in... Do you want to ask me something?
No, okay.
Okay, she had a house, or she rented a house in the Vineyard. I think it was in the Vineyard or Nantucket. I can't remember now which one it was. It was one of those. It was either Nantucket or the Vineyard. And invited Epstein to go. And I believe that's when he met Prince Andrew. However, I believe that before that event, he had gone to the Bahamas and had hung out with Sarah Ferguson. And Sarah had called Epstein and had arranged with Lynn, or I don't know now, I'm speculating. Anyway, long and short, he met Andrew at there.
And I'm not holding you to an exact date, but when...
Well, we can date it from that picture, if you find me the picture.
But you know, without looking at a photo, in your mind, approximately when was that?
I want to say it was 2000, no, probably 2001, 2002.
Early 2000s.
Yes.
And I think it was actually Prince Andrew himself who suggested that he met Jeffrey Epstein through you.
I think that's true. So, well,
It's true that Andrew said that.
yeah, no, I'm sure it's true. Because
Didn't she just say that was a lie? This bitch.
I'm English, and my close friends are all close friends with Sarah and Andrew.
And now she banging the table
And
again, lying.
I would not say that I was close friends with Andrew before but certainly we were friendly, and certainly his best friends, some of them were very, very close with me. And I think that my friendship, me being present for me is what made Andrew like Jeffrey more, like trust him, or I think that's
So you
maybe
don't dispute that that you kind of had a role in them getting together. You're just saying you didn't say Prince.
I would
here's
never have
Jeffrey.
introduced them. It would never have occurred to me to introduce them. I couldn't imagine them being like two chalk and cheeses would never. I mean, for real, there's nothing there to connect them. So he met Prince Andrew, and then he had a relationship. I don't like that word. It sounds clunky. They had a
Acquaintanceship.
Thank you. And through Sarah, actually, I think Sarah is the one that pushed that. And they met and hung out, I want to say 2 or 3 times. That had nothing to do with me. I wasn't communicating with Andrew. I wasn't in touch with him. And I know this because I was annoyed. And I felt left out. And I felt disrespected. And I was like, this is weird. I couldn't even imagine Epstein and Andrew together. And I thought that Sarah was trying to put the moves on Jeffrey, if I'm being honest. And I thought the whole thing was annoying.
I told you she was mad about him not
So,
wanting to be.
what happened with their relationship, putting aside the publicity around Prince Andrew's purported relationship with...
How dare you, bitch?
What happened, as far as you know, with Prince Andrew and Mr. Epstein's relationship from the times you just described?
Okay, so after that, at some point, Epstein told me that Andrew was coming to New York and I needed to organize the whole thing.
Damn, she keep beating on
That's
this
classic, by the way. Classic Epstein. Of course, if someone was like, all right, fine, whatever. And because he wanted to make sure that Andrew was taken care of, and that he was comfortable, he had whatever he needed, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, am I going to meet him, or are you just going to have me do all the job? And he said, well, you know, you can come and say hello. Like, wow. Well, that's so nice of you. For real. You just understand. Like, I don't know if I told you this before, but I did not have the keys to his house. I was not allowed to go to his house unless I was summoned or told. I was not allowed to answer his phones. We can go there. But anyway, so this, we can tell, was a bit of a sore point, perhaps. Anyway, so Andrew came, and of course, the minute we got together, I was like, yay, hi! And then it was so nice because the difference of being in England with Prince Andrew versus being in New York without all the bullshit was insane. And our friendship just like lit up like this. Because first of all, we knew that I'm safe. I mean, safe as in I'm not, you know, Nigel Dempster or taking a bait. Not in a million years would I do something so gross. And we honestly got on like a house on fire. I really liked him a lot, and it was so nice, and we just became really, really good friends. Much more so than when we were in London, if I'm honest.
And then with respect to and Prince Andrew, what do you know about that relationship?
Would you like to ask that again? Relationships, a big word. Like I said, I don't like the word. Let's just start there. Okay. So I have read. I just want to like piece together.
Well, but don't say before you say what you read, because that's one of the problems is that we're all kind of
all right. What I know,
informed by like all the publicity and information around what everybody else has said. But like, what do you know? What do you think? Or what did you see?
Well,
what did you hear?
What's an even bigger word than bullshit?
Okay. Why? Well, go ahead. But finish that thought. Why do you think that?
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm so happy to tell you. I'm like excited. I'm beyond excited. Okay, so there's a mixture of what I've actually seen and know from the evidence and versus what I've put together. Impossible for me at this point to separate everything, but I'll tell you what I know versus what I saw and what I physically have. But it's helpful for you to know. So, the allegation, I have to go with the allegation. The allegation was that at my house in London in March, whatever that was, 2001, I believe, we went to London especially so that could have a relationship with Prince Andrew, and she was paid a vast amount of money for that purpose. Okay. And that she then got in my bathroom in my house in London and had sexual relations with him, and then went into my guest room and had full-blown sex, and then left my house. Oh, he left, and she felt used and disgusting. And a photograph is taken of them just before all these events took place in my study. That is what is the story. Oh, and then after that, she met him several other times, but we'll come to that. This is where it allegedly started.
And they went to tram.
Right. We went to that night. Oh, we went to dinner, right? We went to dinner and then to tram. Okay, so the first thing about that weekend, that specific weekend, was that it's my mum's 80th birthday and I was in the country. And I have some corroborating evidence for that, and a lot of testimonial that you can check. So that takes care of the reason why one of the reasons why her story doesn't hold water. The second reason why, so by the way, when I say that, my mum turned 80th that actual weekend, was her birthday, is on March the 11th. And the reason why I went to London, and I presume, but I don't remember, is why when we were, so the whole trip started because of Alberto Pinto, who is the decorator for the island.
Are you Alberto Pinto?
And for New York as well. And he had wanted
Alberto Pinto
to go
in the
to
comments,
see
y'all.
a house in Marrakesh, if I remember rightly, and went via the Alhambra. It was also for New Mexico. So there's architectural pieces that contained, and that was the basis of that trip. And I suspect now that trip was planned all around the fact that I was going to be in London no matter what for my mum's 80th birthday at my brother's house in the country, which is approximately an hour outside of London, an hour and a half outside of London, at my brother's home. And we all congregated on the Saturday for her birthday celebration on the Sunday, and then we left. So that's that. The second reason why, probably maybe even the more important reason than my mum's birthday, that I think it's absolute rubbish, is that Prince Andrew, the idea of him doing anything of that nature in my house that's the size of this room is so
My house is too small for him to molest somebody.
not
Are you
conceivable
crazy?
to me as the man, or what, I just can't even, no.
Is there any way that it could have happened?
No.
Describe the physical plane.
Oh, the physical, so my house was tiny. I think it's 900 square feet in total. Well, maybe that.
So
Is that right?
small.
Maybe 9. It is on 3 floors, however. We're talking about it's a jewel. It used to be a stable for a horse. It was the stables for the big houses. It was the little poor man's home behind the rich man's home. It's a jewel. Was a gorgeous little place, but it is the size of a nut. If you make a noise, let's say just a little burp or something, you'd hear it. It just, where she says that they had relations in a bathroom, first of all, the bath is an old Victorian bath. I'm quite small. It's tight for me. I put my brother in there to see what would happen. It looks like a blibbit, which is a sausage in a very tight skin. So her description of whatever the two people were doing in the tub, that would work. The bathroom itself is so small, you can't lie flat on the floor. So it couldn't happen on the floor because you physically can't. The bathroom is too small to even be on the floor. And then the kicker of all kickers, is that
Oh, it's a
because the
kicker.
bathroom was so small, I decorated it to try and make it look huge, which meant that I put mirrors the whole way around it. And what was so fun about being in there is that if you stood in the bathroom, you saw like 100 of you, like you do if you were in yeah, well, Alice in Wonderland or one of those things that you would see yourself going stretching everything. And the image, if you said you were, let's say the telling the truth, she could say she was having sex with 5,000 generations of the royal family because that's how far back you could see yourself. There is no way in God's green earth if that had taken place that this is something that you would miss, because you can miss it. If you were standing there now, you'd see the whole of the FBI, the whole of the Department of Justice standing behind you. It's like, no.
Can you,
Also explain where the tap was in the bathtub.
Oh, well, it's an old Victor. And a tap.
Wow.
So if you were in, if you were in the tub, this was the tub. My tap would be here. I think. No.
so you think it's kind of logistically and physically not something that could have
Well, there's that. And there's just, Andrew would, he's so, English. He's so, he had a tie on.
Do you think there's any way it could have happened or no?
Absolutely, no way, no how, absolutely not. Wait, I haven't finished. So, on her...
No.
Go ahead. Go. Finish, please. Go ahead.
Sorry, can I finish?
No.
When all this nonsense took place, where this whole story with the picture and the this and the that and this bullshit, I believe that this whole thing was manufactured, and I can point you to some potentially corroborating evidence of this. So when she gave the photograph to the FBI in Australia,
Just to be clear, the photograph you're talking about the famous one
I
where
have an image of it
We're
here.
back to Princess Diana.
you're in the background.
The fake.
We're back to Princess Diana.
So, on the back of that, and this is in the Discovery, by the way. I don't know if it's in, I don't know which Discovery I saw it in now, but she wrote in the back that it was a picture that was taken in January of 2000 and in 2000 or 2001, I don't remember.
Okay.
So now, in her handwriting that she's giving the FBI this picture, suddenly now it's March. So how do you go from her writing?
Man. So Princess Diana was riding in the car with the underage victim and taking pictures and shit. Wow.
It's January to March. It's because it's the only one that fit with the flight logs that when she could be in London and this took place. The second thing is that, I'm so excited to tell you this. There is a journalist. I know you guys are quite, I don't know. The fake news is at work here. So there's a journalist called Sharon Churcher. There is a lawyer called Brad Edwards. These two, and there is a Southern District.
It's 12:12. Let's say a prayer. Damn, it's 12:13. All right. Yeah.
The Florida prosecutor called Villafana. I would very much look forward to showing you the relationship between these three parties that created that story.
Why? Well, without putting aside the relationship, why do you think they created that story?
I believe that story was created for the purposes of, well, there are multiple. The first one is financial. The second one is for the purposes of the CVRA case. The third one was for the serialization both of her book and in the papers for the story to attack the royal family. And just as a...
So, I think when you were just asked about the photo, you said you actually thought the photo was fake. Do you think it was just misdated, or do you think it's literally a fake photo?
I believe it's literally a fake photo.
Why do you think that?
Guys, the CVRA case is Child Victims' Rights Act. So she's literally speaking about, you already know. Just like it's nothing. Let's go.
Well, first of all, I don't remember it. We'll start.
But
the outfit I'm wearing is the outfit from my mum's birthday party.
So, but you don't have any... Do you dispute that they met each other?
Do you know whether they've met each other?
I do not know that they met.
Okay, so you not only... So you think the photograph is fake, but you also are not even positive they actually ever met each other.
I am not.
So you don't have a specific recollection of kind of being at an event or a party or your apartment or your flat in London with Prince Andrew and...
Absolutely not.
She doesn't know one way or the other.
The reason why I'm not hesitant, I don't have any memory of that, so that's not the issue. The issue is, could Andrew have come to the house to see me or see Epstein and say hi and she had been there? Yes, I can't say that hadn't happened. But what I can absolutely categorically say is that I never at any time set Andrew up to have relations with her or any other human being ever. And I can categorically state that her characterization of whatever may or may not have happened physically would just know. And plus, I was in the country, so all of that's just not conceivable.
Did you attend...
hand again. Lie.
Did you attend social parties over... And again, I really now am focused on 2000 plus, so not the earlier.
Even in 2000.
Where Mr. Epstein would host a party or be a big part of the hosting of the party, and some of, or many of the young women who were masseuses would be invited to the party as guests or as entertainment.
Red alert! Red alert!
I certainly went to his house when he would have people who would be there that were, the way I would think of it and I would characterize it were his entourage. That's how I thought about it. And that certainly was in the later 2000s, yes.
Did you attend any weddings of famous people with Mr. Epstein? Again, I'm mostly focused on post 2000, but if there's something that comes to mind in the 90s, that's fine as well.
A wedding?
Weddings.
With Epstein?
Girl.
I don't think I ever went to a wedding with Epstein. I can't think of a wedding that I ever went to with
What
him.
wedding did you go to?
Do you know, so you don't remember, you didn't attend President Clinton's daughter's wedding? Chelsea Clinton's? But that wasn't with Mr. Epstein?
No, it was with Ted Waite, my boyfriend.
Say it again?
With Ted Waite, my boyfriend.
Okay. Do you know whether Mr. Epstein was at that wedding?
He was not.
And how did you have a relationship? Well, why did you get invited to that wedding?
Because Ted and Clinton were very close.
And how were you close to them? Like, what was the reason you were close to them?
I met President Clinton. First of all, I went to the White House with Epstein once for, I think it was for a historical, like one of those benefits. And I met the president then, but like 1,000 other people shook his hand. Then after that, I had a good friend of mine that was known to be the mayor of Miami Beach, Philip Levine.
Wow.
And Philip and the president were very good friends. And Philip and I were very good friends, and so I actually was introduced to the president post his coming out of the White House and became friendly with him because of Philip Levine.
Man.
Because of what?
Philip Levine.
This is the 30th
There's some names that have
person
been
she done named type shit.
publicly associated with Mr. Epstein that I just want to ask you if you know about. Piers Morgan.
Is friendly with who?
With Mr. Epstein.
I have no idea. Never. I doubt it.
Yeah, there's no trick question. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not suggesting that I know the answer to it. I'm genuinely just asking.
I would be astonished. I can't imagine they'd have anything in common either.
How about
Good friends with Piers Morgan.
I've met him. I met him at an event in Manhattan. I can't remember what. More recently, so probably in 2012, 30, something like that, and we had a very nice conversation. So I remember that. I remember thinking, I don't remember if I'd ever met him before, but I remember thinking how nice he was and how I was surprised. So I liked him. What can I tell you? So that's the only memory I have of that. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's what I think.
I don't have a correct or incorrect.
No, I just don't know. I just want to try and.
No, but I want you to believe me because I mean this. There is so much information in the public sphere about you and Mr. Epstein and others around, and some of it is definitely true, and some of it is definitely false.
Okay, all right.
So when I ask a question, if I think that you're not being honest or that you're missing something, I'm not. This isn't got you. I'll say that to you.
No, it's definitely got
Did you ever meet JFK Jr.?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever meet JFK Jr.?
Yes.
When was that?
I met him at Andrew Cuomo's wedding? No. Kerry's wedding. Kerry's wedding? Who did Kerry marry? Andrew Cuomo. Yes, sorry. Andrew Cuomo's wedding.
When would that have been approximately?
1990?
So before or
1989? Something like that.
but would that have been before you met
maybe.
Mr. Epstein?
Yes.
Did you have any sort of professional or social relationship with John F. Kennedy Jr.?
I fancied him.
You what?
I thought he was very attractive.
Oh, you fancied him?
She tried to put
Aside from finding him attractive and fancying him, did you have any sort of, social relationship with him?
I mean, we knew each other, and I thought he was wonderful and fun, and I enjoyed meeting him. But we went out. I wanted to say we had a dinner or two, but I was very excited. But that was it.
And then Alan Dershowitz.
What's the question with Alan?
Do you say it again?
What's the question?
Do you know? Do you know Mr. Dershowitz?
Yes.
Do you know whether he knew Mr. Epstein? Do you know the nature of their relationship?
I definitely do know Alan. I'm just trying to remember if I knew him. I'm trying to remember how I met him, and I met him separate from Epstein. I don't remember, so that I have no recollection. I remember. I know that he was Epstein's lawyer. I don't know if they had any relationship prior to that. I don't remember. Oh, I do, actually. So, I think they met at the same Martha's Vineyard through Lynn Forrester now. I think that's what happened. I think that's it.
And why do you think that?
Because it just popped in my head.
Okay. And you said that Mr. Dershowitz was Mr. Epstein's attorney. Do you know whether they also socialized?
So my personal memory of when I have two distinct memories with Alan. One is with him and his wife at the island, and I absolutely remember that. And I remember, I think going to his house in Boston, if he had a house in Boston. Those are the only two times I remember.
Did you ever observe Mr. Dershowitz doing anything inappropriate with young women around Mr. Epstein?
Never.
Did you ever hear anybody, did anybody ever tell you that he had done anything inappropriate?
Absolutely not.
Do you know one way or the other whether Mr. Dershowitz ever got a massage at the island or any of the locations that,
Am I tripping? Did he ask this question about the Clintons? I can't remember. Let me know. I don't know.
do you know one way or the other whether Mr. Dershowitz ever got a massage at the island or any of the locations that he was at with Mr. Epstein?
I don't remember anything about him ever getting a massage. I don't ever have any recollection. I don't believe I ever even saw him in a bathrobe. I have no knowledge of that.
They were swimming in the bath together.
I'm jumping around a little bit. You mentioned, I think, briefly, but the Terra Mar project?
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, man.
I founded Terra Mar the idea of Terra Mar came, I think, in 2010. So I want to just explain Terra Mar a little bit. So
I don't feel good about this.
Ted and I bought a boat. Well, Ted bought the boat. And the basis of the boat was to do explorations and sea exploration and stuff. This really started because I have and have had since I was a child a love of the ocean and everything aquatic, and I've always been I'm nervous about the state of the ocean. When Ted and I, we worked with National Geographic and we did exploratory work, and the most exciting, we did many exciting things, but one of the most fabulous ones that we did was we looked for Amelia Earhart twice. I did 2 expeditions to look for Amelia Earhart as an example of an exploration that we did. And he had a foundation for the ocean, and we worked with Nat Geo, we worked with Woods Hole. He had a foundation for the ocean, and
now we got Nat Geo. Bro, this is why they didn't want to tell us this shit. We done learned in the last 4 lives, maybe 5 lives I've done today, going through this shit, and we not even started on the real tea of it all that actually matters, which is the children. Barely, a little bit, just a sprinkle. But we got so many businesses, banks, everything, dog, just like we all knew as conspiracy theorists. But let's go ahead. Good.
We work with Nat Geo, we work with Woods Hole. We did amazing things. He bought the Remus 6000, so when the plane went missing, the plane that went, was it Air France? From Brazil to Paris and went down, it was the Remus 6000 that found that plane. It was one of those deep sea underexplorers. Anyway, when I broke up with Ted, I just, one of the things I did not want to give up was my love of the ocean and everything that we did. And Terra Mar, the genesis of Terra Mar came from that. So Terra Mar obviously means land, sea. And the story of the ocean is that Earth really shouldn't be called Earth, it should be called ocean, because 3/4 is the ocean. So I wanted to not clash with anything to do with Ted, because it was a bit awkward between us. And so he took all the part of the ocean that was close to land, so within 200 miles. And so I decided I would focus on all the part of the ocean that was outside of national borders, Terra Mar. And that's the genesis of Terra Mar.
So what was the time period of that?
That, I think, after I broke up with Ted, so 2010, 11 is when it started, and then I ran it all the way up until whenever the Epstein drama struck, and then I just shut it down. I shut it down because I didn't want what was happening to hurt the Smithsonian or Nat Geo or I just couldn't let everything be hurt by what was happening to me.
Do you know Jean-Luc Brunel?
Yes.
How do you?
I met him, so when I told you I was working for the European for my dad, and I was in
So
charge.
back in like early 90s.
Yeah, and I was running a magazine. One of the things in the magazine is fashion, and so I was going to some fashion shows, and I was looking for fashion sponsorship. And in fact, when I came to America, one of the first sponsors that I got for it was Ron Perlman at Revlon, who was great. And I met Jean-Luc through just in Paris like that, but socially not.
Did Mr. Epstein know him as well? Did you later learn whether they knew each other?
I'm not sure. I don't. He would have. Epstein had his own fashion situation, so he would have. He didn't meet Jean-Luc through me.
Did you ever observe them together over the years?
Absolutely, yeah. I saw them many times together.
Did he visit the island? Did
Yes.
he go to Palm Beach
He went,
House?
yeah, he went everywhere. I saw him in every place.
Do you ever observe him getting a massage? Or do you ever know whether they got a massage? Maybe you didn't observe it personally. You don't remember?
I don't know. I mean, I have no conscious memory of Jean-Luc.
Now she
I would imagine that he
unconscious
did, but I never
again and don't remember shit. Oh my god.
How about Mr. Weinstein, however you want to say?
What would you like to know?
Do you know him?
Yes.
How do you know him? Like, I guess when I say how do you know him, is it a relation you had kind of separate from Mr. Epstein, or did you meet him through Mr. Epstein, or?
I wouldn't say I had any type of relationship with Harvey Weinstein.
Okay.
In any context. Socially, I would meet him because I would go to events that Harvey would be at, and also his wife was English back then, Georgina. And friendly also would be a big word, more of acquaintance, so we would see each other, and I would go to Miramax events. But there was a couple of people who worked for Harvey who I was friendly with. His primary producer, whose name is Meryl Poster, I was friendly with, and
Do you know whether Mr. Epstein had his own relationship with Mr. Weinstein?
he did.
Did they socialize together at the island or in Palm Beach or New Mexico?
I never saw Harvey at any of Epstein's houses, so socialize. I don't know that they were friends. I mean, I can't see them together either. I mean, literally. But I know that they certainly do that. I would imagine, and in fact, I think I have a memory, but I can't. That when Harvey was trying to raise money for whatever his business is called, I can't remember what his business is called. Maybe he went there because Epstein was good at raising money. I just don't know. But I never saw them. I don't recall seeing Harvey in any of the properties.
We'll just go a few more minutes and take a break, and it's after lunch. So we talked several hours ago about your father and his business a little bit. After your father passed, do you know whether Mr. Epstein was involved in your family business that you know of?
Absolutely not. In any respect. First of all, there was no family business left. Start with that problem. And the second one is...
here she go change the story again.
My family didn't like him very much.
What?
And they were busy dealing with their own problems, and there was no relationship whatsoever. I mean, my mum and he got along quite well. That was it. But she's an old lady. He was nice to her.
We're now being a little repetitive, but you're confident that before you met Mr. Epstein, he didn't know your father, and so he wouldn't have done business with your father's companies in the 80s either.
Absolutely not. I'm 100% sure of that. I never met him, I never saw him, I never heard his name. No, nothing.
So, there's been a lot of conversations about whether Mr. Epstein maintained like a list of people, like a book of famous people that he knew. It's called a black book or a client list or a list. Did you know of the existence of any such list?
There is no list. We'll start with that.
What?
The genesis of that story I can actually trace for you from its absolute inception, if that is what you're interested in.
Man.
Well, first, to be short, there is no list, there's no client list, nothing like that.
No, there's nothing like
That you know.
that. I obviously. Yeah.
Okay, so you
That's
say
a
you think you know
lie.
the genesis, so go ahead, tell us.
I'd like you to know that I have brought some supporting corroborative evidence.
Well, tell me what it is
Well,
too,
why
and then
don't
we'll
you
get the
tell her first?
corroboration. Go ahead.
Is it?
Man, this about to be over. But we already know that's a lie. She already said that she brought her notebook out with a list of the people and clients and their flights, and she started reading their names. Now, there is no list. Like, bruh, just done pissed me off. Oh, do I go to the next? I don't know.
Do you want to take a break here? Because this is a long.
It's a long story.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's take a break. Yeah, let's take a break.
All right, the time is 2:03, and we're going to take a break right now.
That is nuts, dog. And now, soon as I'm about to get up out of here, they want to start talking about the list that don't exist. Oh. And I like how all the trolls, every time I start a live, it's a different name. That was cute. I like it. I'm going to end this and decide if I'm going to do another one. Yeah. Peace. See you soon, regardless. Bye. Bye.